Hey guys, it's Rush. Today I'm going to be bringing you probably the most amazing game that I have played in my entire World of Tanks career. This was in my Object 140 on the map Live Oaks, and I thought I'd feature it because, well, this is the best game I've ever played. So, we're on Live Oaks. Now, I thought I'd explain my thought process in an attempt to try to, allow people to learn from this game because it's a lot goes on and I want to put that into words. So, the first things first, I'm going to be making a unstandard play in this game. You can see we're going to the city on Live Oaks in a top tier medium. Now, a lot of people would consider this an awful play. The reason it's a strong play, and the reason I've started doing this pretty much every single time I get on this map, is because it's very common for very few enemies to go to the city. And then, if you look at the enemy team lineup, if you had made a decision based on the tanks that we had an E100, IS-7, E75, Type 4 Heavy, and so on, and they really didn't have anything to compete. So I was going to the city thinking that at least that's going to be a side of the map that we can win. Now, that isn't the case. Our E100, E75, and Type 4 are still in the base, but that's just the way it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plop up on this corner and look for shots on people. I'm able to get a shot into the IS-7, and what I'm going to learn very quickly here is that this is not an already safe location. So I hike this building because I don't really want to get shot by the IS-7, and I also don't really want to get wrecked by Artie. So I'm going to drive forwards a bit, just hoping to get safe. Artie shoots right next to me anyways and does 365 damage because I guess I was just camping too hard. What's going to happen here is you're going to see standard medium tank play in the city. So if you're ever a medium tank and you're bringing your vehicle to the city, this is exactly how you have to do it. Because generally, when you're in a medium tank and you're in a city, the IS-7 and 57 Heavy are going to be able to just beat you because you're fighting in their domain. So you're fighting against heavies in a city, right? So you can't be super aggressive. So I noticed the Foch putting shots into people. He's not really doing damage, but he is putting shots into people. And I come back here because I kind of want to be with my teammates. Now, as I'm holding this angle, I switch to APCR because I don't really know who I'm going to be shooting at. Generally, APCR is a bit more consistent than heat. I'm going to be noticing that, well, a couple things. The reason I'm not being more aggressive than this is because of the location of our IS-7. The WZ gets lit. I'm not able to put a shot into him, but taking into account the way my team is playing, you're going to see it's like I've got a Foch sitting behind me looking at a wall, and then I've also got an IS-7 who's not really spotting anyone. And so I notice this, and my fear, this is very common in city fights, this is what happens. If no one is shooting at anyone, generally the enemy will move up. So what I do is I back up because I'm scared that the 57 is going to be able to get to this corner and clip me out. And lo and behold, the 57 is moving up. So I'm able to position myself now, because he's been so aggressive, to put this guy into a crossfire. And that's kind of why, well, this guy committed. He didn't really see many tanks. He thought he was able to. And now he kind of pushed into 3 tanks who have him set up. There's not going to be much he's going to do. Now, once this 57 Heavy gets safe, the next question is, well, where the hell is his teammate? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke this corner, and I'm going to watch for someone who might be trying to cross or be aggressive because, everyone was lit. We were all distracted, so the IS-7 could have seen an opportunity right there. I'm able to look for a shot on that WZ. I put one into him for 352. And this is where we're going to notice that the IS-7 has overcommitted. So the Foch makes a really aggressive play. It's going to work out though because this IS-7 has overcommitted and we now have him in a 3v1. So this is called an overmatch. When enemies overcommit like this, you want to kill them as quickly as possible so their teammates can't support him. So I noticed that our Foch is shooting HE, and then I noticed that our IS-7 is HP. No, they're not shooting HE. No, they're not platooned. That's just my teammates sometimes. And we're going to be focusing down this IS-7 with the HE spamming Foch and the HE spamming IS-7. So the goal here, I was at least trying to just set him on fire. I wanted to kill him before the Foch dies. The Foch died to the 57 Heavy. We get the kill on the IS-7. And now we're in a situation where we have to avoid Artie. There we go. Even in replays, anyways, I have like an Artie 7th sense. The reason I went and got safe was because I felt the Artie coming. But now we're in a position where the 57 Heavy is now dead, and now we have to deal with, the Batchat, who I'm going to check because I might have free shots in him, and then we're going to have to deal with the WZ-120, and the fact that we're probably going to lose the South. Now, at this point in time, you could not predict a South loss, at least I'm unable to, but that's eventually going to happen, so spoiler alert. A Grill is spotted in the middle. I'm looking for shots in him. I realize I don't really have shots in him. And then, once he gets unspotted, we're not going to respot him. So the next challenge becomes winning the city because, they're starting to push up in the South. The E100's asking for help. We want to win the city before we lose the South, just in case we do lose the South. At least that's kind of like the strategical reasoning behind my play right here. So the IS-7 is asking for help. Don't ask me why. I spot the WZ. I bounce him. He pens me. I think he high rolled me there. His alpha might be 440 or 490. I'm not sure. A T95 is spotted. So this changes things greatly. There's a T95 right here. I'm going to look for shots in him. I put a shot into him right there. And for some reason that damages him. Now, my viewers, I was live streaming this game, told me that to pen the T95, you shoot in between its tracks. You can see I'm looking for green because I can't find where to pen this guy. But, you know, at least what I'm going to do is I'm going to be able to keep this guy tracked because he hasn't used this kit. You can see he goes dark right there. And hopefully this is buying our IS-7 the opportunity to flank this T95. And it's also kind of giving me the opportunity to look for shots in this guy. So the IS-7 puts a shot into the rear of the T95. I get a retrack on the T95. And for some reason, the IS-7 keeps asking me for help, so this was actually kind of annoying. I'm able to put a shot into the side of the WZ right there. I'm going to look for the retrack if I can. Take that shot. That one bounces because he repaired just in time. And now because the T95, I see he's looking towards the IS-7, the WZ drives in front of me, so I shoot him. And now because of the way the T95 is looking, I'm going to eventually be able to move up once I snag the kill on this WZ here, I think. Never mind. I don't get the kill in the WZ. Regardless, what's going to happen is we're going to push up. Here's where I get the kill in the WZ. He stops right in front of me. I kill him, and now we have to deal with this T95. I'm on 1000 HP, and our IS-7 is a one-shot. So the way you deal with the T95 in this type of situation is you have to be aware of where the rest of the enemy team is. It's very likely that the enemy has multiple TDs who are sniping and supporting this T95. So what I do, generally TDs snipe up to my right in this type of area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this flank, and I'm keeping cover in between myself and where I think the enemy TDs are, and I'm also already safe in this location. So we flank the T95, and then we're going to be able to hug this building and just not get RD'd because, you know, RD shot at me twice this game. The probability that he shoots at me again is really, really high. So we're safe from TDs. We're safe from RD. The next question is, where can I go to be useful to try to turn this game around? I've done 4,317 damage. 1500 spotting, and I'm down to 28 shells. So that's a bit of a challenge, right? What I want to do is I want to help the South because we haven't lost the South yet, but that's kind of, it looks like it's eventually going to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run back to base. The STRV, or the WT off Panzerführer, killed the IS-7. I didn't notice that when I was playing this game, but if I did, it would have just proven that there's a TD camping in their base. The STRV shoots at me. I'm able to put a shot into his commander's hatch here. That was pure luck. And then Artie says hello. And what I've done is I've switched to heat. This is where the STRV goes unspotted. I try to put a blind shot into the STRV. Not sure if that wouldn't hit, but it is what it is. We can check on the end plates. Gonna look for another shot on the STRV right here. Pretty sure that one missed. It hit a tree. And now we're in a situation where we're gonna have to deal with the South. But the problem is they've got 2, possibly 3 TDs who are sitting in the middle right now. So the middle on Live Oaks is very, let me put it this way, never go to the middle. I'm just going to put that out there. The middle's trash. The problem is when there's people in the middle, it's very annoying to dig them out. It's like they've got an STRV in the mid, and the STRV is able to shoot at pretty much anyone who wants to support the South. So this is the problem that I'm going to have to deal with as I look for shots onto the base. Now you can see I'm positioning myself here because I want to have shots on the TDs in case they get lit. But that's not going to happen. We're going to start losing the South, and I say, okay, well, I'm being useless as I'm sitting here looking for shots on TDs, and eventually we're going to get moving and we're going to look for shots on the VK, the Jagdpanzer E100, and the 140, because, you know, our E100 is going to die. We don't want him to at least die uselessly. We want to shoot the enemies as they're shooting him, so at least it's a decent trade. Now, this is the problem that I was talking about. This is where the middle kind of becomes powerful when they have an overpowered TD, you know, like an STRV sitting in the mid. I cross to try to help out this E100. I get lit because they've got an STRV, and now this position is a bit contentious, right? Like it's... I'm in the middle of an open field, and they've got TDs who could potentially be spotting me from F6, and even then my shots on the K line aren't that great. Our U100 just died. He died to the STRV, and like it's not a great position to be in. So here's where I notice the HP of the enemy. The enemy has a full HP Object 140. Now, I haven't noticed the HP of the Jagdpanzer or the VK, but I do notice that they've got a grill who's pushing into our FV. So the situation I see right here is like, oh my god, full HP Object 140 is going to be chasing me from behind. They have a very high HP STRV in the mid, and then our grill is YOLOing me YOLOing my teammates, right? So what I need to do is I need to run away from the full HP 140, run away from the STRV. Luckily, I spot the STRV. I'm going to be able to put a shot into him, and then I'm going to load a heat shell because I need to make sure this one pens. The grill kills my teammates, unfortunately, like my FV4005 with his amazing paint job. And now the grill is going to work on going towards Artie. Now, at this point in time, it's like my biggest fear is that the Object 140 is just chasing me down. I see that the 212A is YOLOing the Artie, so I yell at him to stop because obviously that's a bad idea. I'm able to flank the grill. We get the kill on that guy. Now we're up to 5 kills. We're down to 19 shells, and the enemy's got a full HP 140, and a high HP Jagdpanzer E100, and a high HP VK. So the next question kind of becomes, how the hell do you deal with the fact that they've got a full HP 140, Artie, Jagdpanzer E100, and the VK? Well, you start off with the information that you have. Like, whatever you're trying to carry, you need to understand, you need to use all of the information that you're able to try to make a calculated decision. Now, I know they've got a 140 in the south. I know they've got, like, their entire team in the south, and then Artie's probably sitting at A0, being a typical Artie player. So what I decide to do is I decide to run away to a position where I can at least use my camo, right? In this type of context, this is where view range becomes really, really useful. So my plan is to use the fact that I have 450 whatever meters view range to shoot at the enemy as they drive into us. And that's what I'm going to try to do. So I go to a very common TD position. Now, this is going to be a good position because it catches the enemy off guard. I'm flipping the map around, right? The enemy are coming from the south. I'm defending the north. That's effectively what happens. And I'm going to be able to, if they get on cap or, whatever, I'm going to be able to make an informed decision from here. Because if I want to, I can go push down the 0 line, or I can come back through the city and so on and so forth. Now, our Artie, the legend that he is not... You can see I'm getting mad at him. It is what it is. I think he should be in the city because obviously he's going to go get killed. The E100 says go destroy Artie object. Now, I'm going to have to talk about the reasoning for me not destroying Artie after the Jagdpanzer E100 gets lit. The Jagdpanzer E100 gets lit. We're going to look for shots on him. Unfortunately, his positioning is perfect. Now, I was really nervous in this situation because the question is, why is a Jagdpanzer E100 lit? I hit that shot, by the way. I shot at the Jagdpanzer E100. That one went in. That was a bit delayed. But my question is, why is the slowest tank on the enemy team spotted and the Object 140 isn't? My thinking is that the 140 had actually gone back to base. So the Artie gets lit. I'm able to put shots into him. This is really lucky. It's lucky the Artie's positioning was so bad. But in my mind, I have to deal with the Jagdpanzer E100 and the VK because the slowest vehicles on the enemy team were able to push into our base, and then the next question kind of becomes, well, where the hell's the 140? And the 140 is probably flanking me right here. So I kill the Artie. They've got a Jagdpanzer 100 in front of me. I spot the VK. Now, I was half of mind not to shoot the VK right here. You're going to see I'm going to back up. I'm going to shoot him, but obvious hesitation right here. The reason I didn't really want to shoot the VK is because I might... How do you say it? I didn't really want to give my position away. The enemy didn't really know, so I was able to shoot at the VK. If I had shot at him, he knows where I am, and you can see obviously the VK points his tank towards me after that, and now he knows where I am. The Jagdpanzer 100 drives across the open. I'm able to get my 7th kill, and now I'm in this situation where there's an unspotted full HP Object 140, and there's a VK charging towards me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run away. Now, I'm totally expecting the Object 140 to be at B0 right now, and this was a reasonable assumption to make. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to sneak up to A1. Now, that's not exactly what happens here. I'm not going to be able to get into A1. I wanted to play a bit of cat and mouse and just turn this game into a draw. I'm going to get to this ridge. Accidentally, I was hoping that the cover would allow me to sneak up to A1 safely, and you can see, lo and behold, the Object 140 was flanking, and this position right here is going to be from where I play the rest of this game. So you can see I'm hull down. I'm able to put a shot into the full HP 140, who's not full HP anymore. The VK gets lit. I'm going to put a shot into the side of his turret because he lets me. Don't ask me why, but I'm not going to complain. And now we're in the situation where the 140's best play is to YOLO me, and I've only got 3,200 HP worth of shells left. So the enemy VK has, 420 HP. The 140's one shot away from full HP. So, we're in the situation where we should have enough ammo to win it. I put a snapshot into the VK's turret right there, and right here the 140's best play is to YOLO into me. So I put a snapshot in his direction to try to suppress him. I don't want that guy to YOLO at me, and then I'm going to look for another shot on the VK. That one bounces, and now I'm down to 7 shells. So what I'm going to do is kill the VK, and then what we're going to have to do is deal with the Object 140. The Object 140 is next. So the Object 140 makes the right play here. He's going to run across the field. I missed that shot. Now, the problem with missing that shot is that puts me down to 5 shells, and I've only got 320 alpha, so I can't kill this guy right here. I put a shot into the 140. That was into the right side, so that damaged his fuel tanks. I'm able to put another shot into that guy. I managed to, like, absolutely wreck this guy's fuel tank. That's what allows me to set him on fire and win the game from the front with 1 shell left. He's going to take his last shot right here. He misses that one. I'm able to get the kill. That's my 9 kill, 9800 damage games. Hope I did an okay job of explaining everything that was going on. It was so much that it was hard to keep track of commentation wise, so, you know, forgive me if I missed anything. That was a Mastery Badge, Radley Walters, High Caliber, and a Top Gun. I ended up doing 9,868 damage, 1,723 base XP. This is the highest XP game that I have on EU so far, as far as I'm pretty sure it is anyways. 2,059 spotting. We ended up making 53,000 credits despite almost running out of ammo. That's because I ended up getting 75k out of personal reserve bonus. I would have lost credits if I hadn't been running a credit booster, so, you know, keep that in mind. Fired 49 shots, had 1 shell left at the end of that one. 42 shots hit, 33 of them penned. That gave me 9,900. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful. You know, the goal was to try to show you how I did what I did and explain why, so you can implement that in your own gameplay. And so I hope I accomplished that. If I didn't, let me know, you know, and so on and so forth. That's where I'm going to call the video. Thanks for watching, guys.